ora, lovely Sagittarians. This is your reading, whether you're sun, moon, or ascendant. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I've laid your cards out today. We've got them here. We always go through and clarify. If you haven't joined me before, welcome. Welcome in. And if you're coming back, thank you so much for coming back. And all your likes, comments, and subscribes. So we've got a rock mineral crystal face down. We pull that out at the end for your Sagittarius. See if it relates to the reading, and we go through and clarify, as I said. So let's get into your storyline today. What appears to me, just looking here, is that, it's the feeling of from one day to the next, from 1 week to the next. We really, our moods, our rhythms, sometimes we feel like, you don't know what, when you wake up tomorrow, what kind of, how you're going to be feeling, do you? I mean, there's this sort of perpetual oscillation of our rhythms, often determined by, obviously, what's going on in our lives, but also by the cycles of the moon, by, whatever's going on. Anyway, so let's get into it. As I said before, we come out Sagittarius with the Four of Discs. So the Four of Discs, such a solid structure, such a secure place. And there's one way in and one way out, and that's through Malkut on the Tree of Life, which is the fruit. It's the physical world. It's the physical world that we live in. Very dense place. Can be slow to get things moving, to change, to shift things. Can be slow in our own mind, actually. But with that four of discs, it can suggest to us that there might be something that we can just let go of. Just a little bit. Yeah. Just a little bit, because we're moving. We are moving. Sagittarius, quickly. It seems we are moving quite quickly through and into this new world, the universe. It is a new portal. And it does have a feeling of this is the right time. This is the right time. We're certainly focused. Knight of Swords, incredibly fast, incredibly focused, tunnel vision on this new thing, on this new beginning, whatever it happens to be for you, Sagittarius. As I said, we always clarify. And then we have the moon. So we think of this new moon in Scorpio, it's a time of seeding things, of planting things quite deeply, with this projection of looking forward. Some things we don't see at this dark time, and some things we do. The moon just symbolically is really what are we conscious of and what aren't we conscious of yet. And sometimes we are required to walk through the dark valley. This is a new moon in Scorpionic matters, delving down quite deep. And in that we have that contrast here. Like, this is high level focus. And then we've got a combination of things that maybe are not seen yet. A period where we are sort of a little bit blinded in that dark valley. So it's all go, Sagittarius. Let's clarify the four of discs for Sagittarius. Is there something we need to let go of, or is there not? Can we know everything is actualized in the physical world. We action things. Otherwise, nothing sort of ever happens, does it? It happens to us. We don't happen to it, as it were. Cleaning and clearing. Yeah, there probably is a few things that can be let go of, or at least a few things can be cleared, like mentally cleared. We've got 2 cards to clarify the 4 of discs, which is called power in the Thoth deck. We've got the 5 of discs, so moving up 1 to the 5 of discs. Archetype of less lack over gain, I should say, staying out in the cold when we don't need to. We can receive, but we have to want to, don't we? Have we got room to, is the thing. Well, I think, yeah, we will have room when we've cleared out a bit of mental, maybe a little bit of mental gook, with this Knight of Swords. Breezes through. And I often see that, like being sort of sitting on a floor with this sort of Knight of Swords sweeping through, and the smell of the leather armour, sweeping through, cleaning and clearing. And we do have the universe here, so it's looking like a new cycle is about to begin, Sagittarius, so don't lose faith or focus at this time. You might be dealing with, as is often the case, power dynamics around you, within you, knowing what's what. We've got the Prince of Swords, or the Page of Swords here, which indicates that. We're also looking at self-esteem here, about understanding how we use our own power, and when we have allowed maybe ourselves to be diminished or marginalised. Sometimes we do that to ourselves. So this is interesting. But we are looking at the universe here. There's a learning in that, learning the power dynamics, how they work. I mean, the power of choice is the biggest, wonderfulest power that we have, the power of choice. Let's look at the universe here. Oh, yeah, look, I mean, things might not be moving as quickly as what you would like, but I would just keep some level of balance within your world, within your own head, Sagittarius, because things are afoot and underway, but there might be a level of frustration here also. So we have to look at the universe to clarify it. We've got judgment. So natural law, I suppose, if you think about it, plays out here. Judgment. We see quite a lot in judgment. We see almost like a clip of series of reels of past, present and future in a strange way. Natural law. Everything is based upon balance. So the more balanced you can be, the better. With that, we also have temperance. So there is a waiting period, because the metals are mixing, the waters are mixing into the cauldron of alchemy that you've thrown your recipe into, and we're just waiting divine timing for it to be ready, Sagittarius. So that's kind of nice to get those 2 cards. With the universe, the Knight of Swords, balance, this just popped out, 6 of coin, 6 of discs. We're looking at the generous flow, that walking that line where it's really good. We're noticing synchronicities and things of that nature happening around us, just to give us a bit of faith, maybe. Scales again here. Beautiful, harmonious card to get. But we are looking at this Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords, focused, flying high. Flying high. Action, action. Whoops, too many cards. Just want one here. So we've got 2. Oh, we've got 3 actually, Sagittarius. Clarifying that Knight, who is an opportunist. As much as being focused on a target, you know, there are opportunities that pop up as we're flying towards that target. Are we going to go for them? Are we going to carry them with us? How does it work for you? How does it work, you know? How it works. Let's see. The Sun. Pretty good. Lots of fun in the Sun. New growth. Childhood. Childlike play. We don't want to forget how to enjoy while we're zeroing towards our target. We also have the 10 of Wands. So we recognize, is this central, like this focus for some of you, maybe that focus that being zeroed in on one endpoint is actually kind of putting a little bit of pressure on. It's sort of maybe detracting from any opportunity that happens between here and then, here and now and then when we reach that target. Or is it something else? So we've got this 10 of Wands, which indicates lightening the load. Take the pressure off a bit, Sagittarius, if that's what you are feeling, a large level of And then we have the beautiful gift of the Ace of Cups, an expansive concept of the loving cup here. And it is something we need to recognize it in order to put it into form in our world. It's sort of interesting, isn't it? Like, it's interesting. Is there I think at this current time and sort of leading up to possibly the full moon in Gemini in a couple of weeks, that we are really fueled up. I mean, in the fiery sense of the word. And so words and actions, ideally, we want to really think about the words that we use and our actions, certainly in relation to others, that spontaneity of reactionary, behaviour is possibly not going to be that helpful, maybe. But, everyone's different, Sagittarius. So let's look at the moon. Let's look at the moon, and everyone is, impacted in different ways, and astrological chart and all of that. We're looking at the moon. The nature of the moon is that sometimes we are illuminated. Things are seen, and other times they are not. Now, I've got quite a few cards here. We'll go through it pretty quickly. So the moon, we're talking about conscious, unconscious, the shadows within our own world, within our own self. As I said, I think earlier, this is Scorpionic time, a new moon in Scorpio. Okay, so let's do this, Sagittarius. We've got the Queen, so we'll just go through really quickly. Sometimes we walk through the dark valley. within that moon card, and other times we're just bathing in that lunation. And obviously at this current time we are probably more toward the darker valley side of things, just because it's a new moon. So have your seeds on hand. So we've got Queen of Pentacles, very beneficial, beneficent queen, whatever the word is. Very much about looking after others here, making sure that others are okay. We have the 7 coming up, 7 of Swords, a level of deception. Now, whether that's you yourself, deceiving yourself, we all have this, you know, trying to work things to your benefit without being upfront about it. Or, look, it's sort of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, really, isn't it? Like, we've left 2 swords here, just in case we want to go back and grab those. It is 2 of Swords is a decision that is made, right, based on gut feeling, more so instinct than what we are seeing. Is it a case where, you know, sometimes we find that we can't trust we're questioning the way that our perception, basically, of what's going on around us. In this reading, there is a heavy emphasis on power dynamics, and I think maybe Sagittarius, there has been those concerns maybe lately, and so we see that 7 coming up. And walking in the other direction from the Queen of Pentacles, we then have 2 10s. So we're looking at, really, through this reading, what other 10 have we got in here? I think we have got, have we? We've got it. Yes, we have. We've got a wand, 10 of wands. We're looking at endings and new beginnings, really. Endings of cycles that you've been in for quite a long time, and new beginnings. We've got the 10 of Cups, the ultimate, in the cup. We've literally got that beginning, ending. It's not to say it's an ending, I'm just saying that ace to the 10, it's a whole suit. We've gone through it. We know it in and out, backwards and frontage, backwards and forwards. We know it inside out, is what I'm trying to say. So it is a reading full of beginnings, full of endings. And then we have the 10 of discs, you know, of that suit. We're looking at where we come from, our values, our loyalties, those that we uphold, those that we don't necessarily agree with. We look at our ancestral line, all of that stuff. And at the same time, in the here and now, we're surrounded by this, by the wealth of family and friends, and a place to belong in a lot of respects. So it could be lots of reviews and overviews going on for you, Sagittarius, at this time. But know that, you know, with Temperance, in here in the central point, we have, what do we have? Temperance and Judgment, that you are moving through this. Pixie and Fairy, Brian Froud. We've got Guardian at the Gate. I'm not sure whether you got this the last time. I kind of think that maybe you did in the last reading. We are moving. We are in this tight spot, but we're not going to be there for any great length of time. It's an uncomfortable passing through. It is a sort of threshold. It's been a long time moving up through this, through these vents of light, you know, to move through that little tight spot out into a new zone, Sagittarius. This is what is happening, it seems. And what's your beautiful card carry with you during the week, if you're lucky enough to have one? Ruby. So we see increased abundance, passion, lucid dreaming and light of the soul. So these shafts of light here, channels of light, you are moving up and through. So beautiful, Ruby. On that note, Sagittarius, I hope you got something out of this. And thanks for liking, commenting. Always appreciated. It's a two-way thing going on here. On that note, have a wonderful week. Take it easy. And we'll see you next time. Ka kite.